Less than 20 days to the end of Governor Obaseki's tenure as governor of Edo State, the Transition Committee of the All Progressive Congress has accused the government of laying booby traps for the incoming administration of Monday Okpebholo with the recruitment of 4,000 teachers. ATN reports that Prince Kasim Afebwa, a member of the APC Transition Committee, made the accusation on Sunday in a statement made available to newsmen in Benin City. Afebwa, who was the media director of the All Progressive Congress Campaign Council, opined that the recruitment of the teachers by the outgoing government was also an attempt to overload the system for the incoming government. According to him, the purported recruitment of 4,000 teachers by the outgoing governor is in bad faith. He said, all through his active years as chief executive of Edo State, Governor Obaseki could not recruit any teacher to reinvigorate the educational interest of the state. We are, however, saddened by the sudden realization in the twilight of his administration that the educational sector now needs teachers. It is pertinent to alert the public, particularly those allegedly recruited as teachers, to disregard the exercise and see it as another political ploy by Governor Obaseki, known for using Edo Best to allegedly defraud the citizens, the World Bank, and other donor agencies. He only used the project for personal self-aggrandizement and that of his cronies. If he meant well for the state, he ought to have done this recruitment long before now that his game was up, he alleged. Afebwa recalled that Governor Obaseki's predecessor, Comrade Adams Oshomole, had recruited 2,500 teachers at the twilight of his administration, which he, Obaseki, flagrantly discontinued on assumption of office in 2016 out of alleged hatred for those who helped him to power. He, however, opined that the incoming administrator of Senator Okpebholo will follow due process in the recruitment of teachers, which he had consistently promised throughout his campaign period. According to him, Senator Okpebholo will not recruit teachers with a partisan mind, but with a determination to make Edo State better for our children. Playing politics with the recruitment of teachers will be the biggest disservice any governor will leave behind as a legacy. What do you have to say to this, George?
Well, I want to say that at every given opportunity, politicians want to tarnish the image of the other. For me, I'm going to say that I don't see anything wrong in employment of, even if it is 1 million teachers, provided it is needed in the state, provided there is the fund to pay for their services. All what the incoming government needs to do is to sit back, look at the matter and find out if the state actually need these teachers. Yes, that's my position. If they don't need these teachers, the state government can equally review these appointments to see if it is something that is not going to go well with them and all of that. So they should not be playing politics of, it doesn't matter when the government employ. The most important question to ask is, does Edo State, as a state, require this number of teachers to man their schools, both primary, secondary, and otherwise? If it is required, then I don't see any reason. I think the government is a continuum. The incoming governor should sit down with his team, review this matter and find out if it is needed. If it is not needed, you can still, review. After all, we've had cases in River State here where, Governor Fubara, yes, Governor Fubara, one of the recruitment exercises done for what they call Ignatius Ajuru University. Till today, that thing has not come up. He felt it was not done properly, and he cancelled it. So the same can be done in Edo State if the incoming governor feels it is not necessary. Right. So let Afebwa, you should not even overheat the politics. Okay. Yeah, that's my position on that.
If I may ask you, George, how many years was Governor Obaseki the governor of Edo State?
This is 8 years now.
8 years.
Yeah.
Now, in 8 years, he did not deem it fit to employ teachers, and he waited until 2 weeks to the end of his administration. 2 weeks against 8 years. George, make it make sense to me, please. Yes. Make it make sense to me.
No. Listen, you might want to be looking at it from that angle that he's just, being wicked to his, successor.
Is wicked the right word or pettiness?
Well, however you want to look at it, trying to make the man not to succeed by, giving him something that is beyond the capacity of the state to handle. That is why I said the incoming governor, Senator Okpebholo, should sit with his team and review that recruitment exercise. Look at what comes into the state. Look at the recurrent expenditure. Look at the recurrent expenditure of the state and know if it is something that the state can handle. If it is something they cannot handle, they can as well review that and decide to. It has happened in several places. The same February accused Obaseki of refusing, to align with what the former governor, Adams Oshomole, did in terms of recruitment. So, Senator Okpebholo can equally do the same. For me, those people who were employed are Edo citizens. For me, they should check if Edo State is in dire need of teachers to teach their children.
If Edo State is in dire need, we are still saying the same thing. If Edo State is in dire need of teachers, why did it take Obaseki 8 years to do the needful? Now, let's look at...
It's about priority. It's about priority.
It could
be that Obaseki as a dad did not give priority to education.
If you say their need, I'm using your language.
Yeah.
Their need means it is existential at that point. Now, if it was a their need, it means that it should be top priority actually.
Yeah, it should be top priority, but if the man feels there are other things, because in the scale of preference, I don't know how you want to look at it. It's about the man.
Let's look at it from the economic implication.
Okay.
Let's look at the economic perspective. Now, yes, there is increased FAC allocation across all states, and then with increased FAC allocation also came the increased minimum wage. And Governor Obaseki pledged to pay above the 70,000 naira minimum wage. It is also very expedient to note that 70,000 naira is minimum, the least a civil servant can take, which means at different levels in civil service, there is also implementation of that percentage across board. Now, that means that, let's assume, I'm not saying for a fact, but just assumption that the wage awards in Edo State would take from the budget monthly would take about when it was less than that, the Edo State government used to pay, let's say, 1 billion naira monthly in wage awards. Now with this increment, and the Edo State government pledged to pay above the minimum. With this increment, Edo State government might be paying up to 3-point-something billion naira in the wage awards monthly. Like I said, it is not a fact, it's an assumption, but I'm trying to use it to lay background for the economic perspective. Now, moving forward, you would see that now, Okpebholo, as the incoming governor, has not sat down to look at the liabilities and the assets he's going to inherit from Obaseki. And Obaseki goes ahead to even burden the state right now with extra 4,000 teachers. When you multiply the 4,000 teachers by 70,000, above 70, I think those states should be paying about 80,000 or 85,000 naira thereabouts. When you multiply 4,000 by 80,000 naira, your guess is as good as mine. If, like you said, education was a priority, he deemed it that important, right? Right now, the government of Edo State is in the process of transiting power to another. Hence, the transition committee set up by Edo State and the APC transition committee. Why not, if government is a continuum indeed, why not help the incoming government? This is what I intended to do. However, I was not able to implement this. In your wisdom, this is what you can do. Why bring in the 4,000 teachers right now? If Okpebholo comes into the system, the government, and chooses not to go ahead with these teachers. He puts him in a bad light with the 4,000 teachers and some persons in Edo State who probably would have applauded this move without looking at the economic implication on the state.
Chairman, I must say this. It's very important that the incoming governor, he has already set up a transition committee, to interface with the outgoing government. And, kind of inform him on the areas, what they need to do and all of that. Now, you also agree with me, though government is a continuum, but every leader wants to, tie something to his name. If you look at the employment, the people who, out of that 4,000, you agree with me that many of them will be those who are one way or the other related to the government or related to those who are in the government and all of that. So if you say you should advise the incoming governor also has its own people. So these are some of the challenges, the bottleneck that we're having in the Nigerian political system.
So why did it take him 8 years to do that?
I'm coming. I keep on saying this. Okpebholo is the incoming. He has his transition team set up. If Obaseki has, employed 4,000 teachers, it is for Okpebholo to come with his team as a governor. They will sit down, review these things, know how much is coming into the states, how much they are generating from IGR, know what is to go for capital expenditure, know what is supposed to go for recurrent expenditure, which is the salaries, emolument and things like that. If what the state is, because the state cannot go beyond what they are receiving, if what the state is receiving is more than enough, I don't see anything wrong in continuing, provided it is important that those teachers are from Edo State and they will teach Edo children. However, yes. If the money that is coming into Edo State is not sufficient enough, to pay the salary, because every government, every public expenditure has to do with capital expenditure and recurrent expenditure. No government will say, let's take 100% or 95% of our money to be paying salaries. Nobody will do that. You must set aside something for capital expenditure. So if at the end of the day, they review how much that is coming in, look at the wage bill of the state and see that the recurrent expenditure is far outweighing what is supposed to go for capital expenditure. There's nothing stopping them to say, okay, let's review. Let's look at this employment. If it went in line with the rules, they should review all these things and know how to cut down.
And choose whether to go ahead